you can give a different meaning to money that will support you, that will heal you and allow you to move forward faster. So I want to talk today about money and specifically our relationship to money. And here's the thing, we're in relationship with absolutely everything. You have a relationship with yourself, with your body, you have a relationship with food, you have a relationship with other people, with your job, with your coworkers, and you certainly have a relationship with money. And here's the thing about money. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You could have very little in your account and have a fantastic relationship with money, or you can have a great deal of money in your account and have a very toxic, traumatic relationship with money. It all depends on your point of view and how you are relating to money. And I have found over the decade or more that I've been teaching this, that most people have, if it's not a toxic relationship with money, it's certainly an unhealthy relationship with money. And people have gone through varying degrees of trauma where money is concerned. In fact, I was speaking with a good friend a little while ago, and she's one of the most positive, upbeat people I know. And she has struggled with money for a long, long, long time. And she's got a twinkle in her eye and a smile on her face all the time. And she said something really interesting. She said, I have done so much to heal money through the years. She's done energy work. She's done therapy. She's read all the books. She's done all the things. And she said, money is still tied to abuse. Because there was a time in her life when she was married and they had a great deal of money, and the person she was married to was quite abusive to her and to their children. And so she said, I don't know how to untie money from abuse. Money is still tied to abuse. And that conversation stayed with me long, long after we finished. In fact, it was just kind of an aside that she said. And then we talked about something else and she was still upbeat and optimistic and positive. But that conversation stayed with me. And she said, I just don't know how to heal my relationship with money. And I thought, can it be more simple than we've been taught, or more simple than we believe, to once and for all heal our relationship with money, even if we've had an abusive relationship with money, even if we've had any sort of money trauma in our lives? Can we heal it quickly? Can we heal it in very simple ways? And I really feel like we can. When I first started on my own healing journey where money was concerned, it started with laying down financial struggle. And most of us think that if we hit a certain level in our finances, if we have enough money in our bank account, whatever that threshold is, then we won't struggle with money anymore. And on a surface level, that's true. Like, we don't want to struggle paying our bills and our obligations. We don't want to struggle feeding and clothing ourselves and our family. And there is that. But on a deeper level, if you're waiting for money to end your struggle, you will always at a certain level be struggling with money, because once you have it, you'll struggle with fear of losing it. And if you don't have it, or as much as you would like of it, you struggle to get more. But the struggle just won't end with money. If you have a lot of it, you'll just change the form that you're struggling. It'll either be, I don't have enough, or, oh crap, what if I lose this? And it'll still feel like struggle. It'll still feel like anxiety. And I speak from personal experience with the money struggle. And so laying down the struggle, I just had to make a decision that I wouldn't struggle financially any longer, that I'd live in gratitude. I live in appreciation for how much money we did have. I would find ways in which I was already wealthy, ways that had something to do with money and ways that had nothing to do with money. And we would just keep moving forward. So I had to start showing up in a different way to money. But the thing that really was the linchpin that really started healing my relationship with money happened at a retreat that I was at. We were fresh into a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. And so we were really in a hurting place financially, but we had pretty much hit our rock bottom. And so I knew the only place to go from here was up. Although I really believe that no matter where you are with money, the only place to go with that is up in your relationship, in the way that you think about it, in the way that you use it as a tool, in accumulating more of it, the purpose of money, all those things. I'm at this point now where we just keep going up. We don't go down. We just keep going up. And sometimes there's some little dips, but that doesn't mean we're going down. It means we've hit a bump or we've hit a dip, but we continue to just trend up. And that's a decision that I made, which really stems from the advice that I was given at this retreat that I was at. So we went around the room and everybody said what their intention was and what brought them to this retreat. And I remember saying, I want to go back to making $20,000 a month because I was there for about a year and it was really nice. And then we lost it. And that was really, really difficult. But even during that time, there was so much stress and so much trauma actually with the money that I remember thinking, if this is what's required of me to make this amount of money every month, then I'm not interested in that. And I said that at the retreat. I said, I want to be able to make $20,000 a month. But if it is going to be as hard and as traumatic as it was initially, then I'm not interested in it. And the woman facilitating the retreat looked at me and she said, why are you making money the bad guy in all of this? And I was really surprised by that, quite honestly. And she said, money was the innocent bystander in that whole experience. Money was here to bless your life. Why did you make money the bad guy? It was the way that you were thinking about money and relating to money, and you kept blaming everything on money. And it wasn't money's fault. You need to apologize to money and heal this relationship. And I was just, I was so surprised by that. And she made me think about how I had been approaching money from a completely different angle. So I was really, really grateful to that and really open to her observation and her feedback with that. And I realized she was absolutely right. If I were to make money a person, if I were to personify money and then look at the relationship that I had with money through that whole period of time, I was needy. I was clingy. I was not appreciative of the money that was there because it was never really enough because what if we lost it? So I was always kind of in this chasing mode. So if you think about a relationship, like a girlfriend and a boyfriend, I was this horrible girlfriend chasing and then clinging and then pleading and then blaming and why didn't you come earlier and why didn't you bring more of your friends and are you going to leave me? Please tell me that you're not going to leave me. What do I have to do so you're going to stay? And I realized as I kind of played out my behavior in relation to money and pretending money was a person, I was like, oh man, no wonder why money left. Because I wouldn't want to be in that relationship either. Like, I wouldn't want to be that kind of a girlfriend. I made sure I wasn't that kind of a girlfriend in any relationship I had before I got married. And I was a little chagrined. I was a little bit embarrassed, just an inner embarrassment as I really took inventory of how I was approaching money in this relationship that I was in. And so I took her counsel to heart. And that night I wrote an apology letter to money. And I just called myself out very lovingly in the ways that I had shown up and the ways that I felt money had shown up. And I committed to money that I was going to show up in a different way. I was going to show up in gratitude and in appreciation and in an empowered way. And I was going to use money as a tool to bless my life and to bless others' lives and to continue to grow. And as I committed to show up that way towards money, I also expected money to show up in ways that supported me. So it was kind of like this letter of agreement, like a DTR, define the relationship with money. This is how I'm going to show up, and this is how I expect money to show up for me as I continue to grow and as I continue to trust and I skill up for myself and I show up for myself and for others. I expected money to then show up to support me. It felt like this beautiful cleansing process, and I just was filled with relief, and I felt this huge burden just fall off my shoulders at that moment when I committed to show up in a different way in relation to money. And as I had thought about that. Like I really committed from that time forward to show up differently with money. And I have, because it makes me feel better and it makes it so much easier for money to come. And I wasn't going to chase it any longer, which then led me back to this conversation I was having with my friend where she's like, money just continues to be tied to abuse. I don't know how to heal that. And I thought, well, what if we've made money the bad guy? What if the traumatic experience we've had with money didn't have anything to do with money? It had to do with the people that were in charge of the money. Because the abuse wasn't from the money, the abuse was from another person. But we made the money the abuser. So could it be that simple? And could it heal that quickly that money is always just the innocent bystander? Money is always just wanting to bless your life and move you forward so that you can express yourself with greater fullness and greater joy. What if money is just to help you get to your dreams faster? And all it wants to do is bless your life and make it easier for you and give you more options and open more doors. Can it be that simple if that's what we decide, that's how money shows up for us? And that's what money means to us. I really do believe that it can be that simple and we can heal our relationship with money that quickly. We give the whole situation a different meaning. Because the only suffering that we're in is because of the meaning we've given a circumstance or an event. That's the only cause of our own internal suffering, is the meaning we've given the situation. So if we can give a meaning to a situation that hurts us, can't we also give a meaning to a situation that blesses us and benefits us and serves us? And I say yes, 100 times yes. You can give a different meaning to money that will support you, that will heal you and allow you to move forward faster and have a glorious, wonderful, healthy relationship with money. Don't make money the bad guy anymore. Just decide, make a different decision, and then commit to the decision that as you show up in a different way for money, that money will show up in a different way for you. Play with this thought, experiment with this thought. We could be in years of trauma and not enoughness and scarcity and all of that financial struggle, but it doesn't mean it's going to take us years to get out of it. We have been told for so long how powerless we are, and we give our power away to other people and to events and to circumstances, and there's no need to do that any longer. It's as simple as a decision and committing to that decision. Because at the cause of whatever situation or circumstance you're in is you. You caused it. That's how powerful you are. You created the circumstance that you're in. You created whatever level of struggle you're in with money. And remember, the level of struggle that you're in with money has zero to do with how much is in your bank account. I know people who make millions who still struggle with money because they're afraid to lose it. So they hoard it in their mind and have a very hard time spending it. That's still struggle. And you can still be in enormous struggle with a large amount of money in your bank account. I'm all about success without the struggle any longer. And it's a decision. You'll no longer struggle. And this is how I'm going to show up to money. And I expect money to show up this way for me. Let it be simple. Let it be easy. If you created your situation you're in that you don't like, you can create your way out of it. I absolutely know that for 100% certainty, because that's exactly the realization I came to. And I actually very quickly created my way out of it by doing what I'm telling you about today. So try it on. Play with it. Give it 30 days. Where you're going to show up in a different way mentally for money, and watch how money starts showing up differently for you. Now, if you want some extra help in letting go of that struggle and starting thinking in prosperity, not positivity, but start thinking more in prosperity, I actually created a really fun email course called Money Magnet. It's a Money Magnet Jumpstart course, which is going to help you to start looking at money differently and watching how money flows into and out of your life and back into your life, so that you can start having a whole lot more mental ease where money is concerned. So you can go pick that up. It's $37. You can go pick it up at prosperityapproach.com/money-magnet. or you can click on the link below and be led to that program as well. That I hope it helps. I know it will. And until next time, remember, prosperity becomes you.